Owner Marge Schott trying to call in a victory Thursday night as her Reds host the San Diego Padres, but things didn't start off too well for the Reds. Here in the top of the first inning, Joe Carter, with the bases loaded, hits a ground rule double to left center field. This scored Bip Roberts and Roberto Alomar, and it gave San Diego a 2-0 lead. Jack Clark would have to go back to third base, but he would come home on Mark Parent's double to right center field. This scored Clark from third and Joe Carter from second, and San Diego led 4-0 after the top of the first inning. Moving now to the bottom of the first inning, Chris Sable, the first man up in the game for the Reds, would belt a solo home run to left field, his 20th home run of the year. This cut San Diego's lead to 4-1 after one inning. But in the top of the second inning, Joe Carter would strike once again. With two men on base, Carter would belt a 3-run homer to left center field, his 17th home run of the year. Carter had 5 RBIs in this game, and he now has 77 RBIs for the year. This gave San Diego a 7-1 lead after 2 innings. The Reds scored 1 in the third and 3 in the fourth inning to get back into the game. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Mariano Duncan's infield single scored 2 runs, cutting San Diego's lead to 7-5. Duncan was caught in a rundown on this play, and that's all the Reds would get. The Padres added 1 more run, and the final score would be 8-5. Here in the bottom of the ninth inning, Craig Lefferts gets Hal Morris to line out for the final out. The Padres win 8-5. Tony La Russa and the Oakland A's in California Thursday night to take on the Angels. Pick it up in the top of the first inning. This would be the Jose Canseco show. Here he'll belt a 2-run homer to center field, his 33rd home run of the year. RBIs number 78 and 79. This gave Oakland a 2-0 lead. Moving now to the bottom of the second inning, a nice play by Walt Weiss. Lance Parrish lines a ball to shortstop, but Walt Weiss makes the catch. Moving now to the top of the third inning, Jose Canseco would strike once again. Here he'll hit a solo home run to left field, his 34th home run of the year. RBI number 80 for Canseco. Oakland led 3-0 after 3 innings. Then with the score, Oakland 4-0. Jose Canseco once again. He'll ground a single to center field, scoring 2 runs. RBIs number 81 and 82, his 4th and 5th RBIs of the game. Oakland led 6-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Then later in the top of the 4th inning, Ron Hassey would get in the act. Here he'll belt a solo home run to right field, his 5th home run of the year. Oakland led 7-0 after 4 innings. After Hassey's home run, the Oakland bats would quiet down somewhat, and the California bats would get hot. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Luis Polonia will ground a single up the middle. This coming off of Bob Welch, the starter for Oakland. This will score Kent Anderson from second base. Oakland led 7-1 after this run. Then later in the bottom of the 5th inning, with 2 men on, Devon White would hit his 8th home run of the year, a 3-run shot to right field. This made the score Oakland 7-4 after 5 innings.
Thursday afternoon baseball action from Montreal, Canada, as the New York Mets come into today's action with a 1 full game lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pick up action in the bottom of the 3rd inning with the roof open today at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, Delino DeShields will hit a double to the gap in right center field. Spike Owen will score RBI number 21 for DeShields, and the Expos are on the scoreboard first at 1-0. Move now to the top of the 6th inning. Craig Jeffries will come up, and he will hit a triple that will hit off the wall in right field. Marquise Grissom tries leaping for it, but it's just out of his reach. Howard Johnson scores RBI number 47 for Jeffries as he goes safely into third base, and the game is tied up at 1 apiece. Still in the top of the 6th inning, Darryl Strawberry comes up, and he singles into center field, delivering home Jeffries, RBI number 68 for Strawberry. The Mets lead it by a score of 2-1. Frank Viola pitching another fine ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He strikes out Andres Galarraga to end the 6th inning with his 6th strikeout of the ball game. In the top of the 8th inning, the Mets open up this ball game for good as first Darryl Strawberry comes up and smacks a 2-run home run to deep center field, his 26th of the year. That now gives him the National League lead in home runs. RBIs number 69 and 70 as Magadan scores, and the Mets lead it by a score of 4-1. This coming off starter and loser Dennis Martinez. Very next batter, Kevin McReynolds, will also hit a solo home run to left field, number 14 for McReynolds, and the Mets take a 5-1 lead. That's the way this one finishes up, as Frank Viola gets the win. As he goes the distance, his record is now 15-5. Martinez with the loss, his record drops to 7-8, as once again the Mets win it 5-1.
300-game winner Nolan Ryan and his Texas Rangers return home to Arlington on Thursday night, and they come away with a 5-4 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays in 11 innings. In the bottom of the second inning, the Rangers got on the board first as Gary Pettis picked up an RBI with a triple down the left field line. Gary Green came in to score, and the Rangers led it 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Right after that triple by Gary Pettis, a lot of hard rain started to fall. As you can see, the raindrops quite big in Texas, and the players were forced to leave as the tarp came out, but the rain delay was under a half an hour, and play soon resumed in the bottom of the second inning, although it didn't cool things off much. A sacrifice fly by Rafael Palmeiro later in the bottom of the second inning made it 2-0 Texas, but in the top of the fifth inning, the Toronto Blue Jays would tie the score at 2 as George Bell hit a 2-run homer to left field, his 20th on the year, scoring Tony Fernandez, and that would tie the game at 2 in the top of the fifth inning as Nolan Ryan looked on from the dugout. Kevin Brown had 6 strikeouts through the first 6 innings, but he did not figure in the decision. Here in the top of the 6th inning, he strikes out Manny Lee for the second time in the game. The Blue Jays would threaten later in the top of the 6th inning as Glenn Allen Hill hit a single to left center field, but a great throw by Gary Pettis would nail Greg Myers at the plate. John Russell applies a tag, and the game remains tied at 2. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Rangers get a big break to go ahead 4-2 as Jimmy Key delivers to Steve Buechele. Looks like a routine fly to right field, but Glenn Allen Hill and Mookie Wilson cross signals. It's an error on Hill, allowing Ruben Sierra and John Russell to score, and the Rangers led 4-2 on the big error in right field. In the top of the 9th inning with the score 4-3 and 1 out, Mookie Wilson would tie the game as he hit a solo home run to left field, only his second home run of the season, his first right-handed, and that would tie the game at 4, sending it to extra innings. Almost lost in the shuffle was a perfect relief job by Dwayne Ward as he came in the 6th inning for the Blue Jays and retired all 12 Ranger batters he faced. There in the bottom of the 10th inning, he strikes out Jeff Houston, who's a little bit upset. Ward had a career-high 7 strikeouts, but did not figure in the decision as Texas got a run in the bottom of the 11th inning off John Candelaria. With 2 outs, Steve Buechele got a game-winning single to center field as Mookie Wilson can't come up with the ball. Gary Pettis, who had doubled, came in to score. Texas wins it 5-4 in 11 innings. Brad Arnsberg, the winner, is 5-1. Candelaria fell to 7-4.
Thursday evening from the lovely South Bronx at Yankee Stadium. New York Yankees hosting the Detroit Tigers. That's Mel Hall fooling around with Roberto Kelly's chains in the dugout. In the bottom of the 3rd inning with 2 outs and Roberto Kelly at second base, Steve Sachs the batter. He'll single down the left field line past Tony Phillips. The ball bounces off the wall there, so Sachs ends up with the RBI single as Kelly scores. RBI number 32, and it was 1-0 New York. That one coming off of Walt Terrell. And Roberto Kelly hurt his arm somewhere along the way, either swinging the bat on the double or scoring on the run, but he was in some pain. Mike Heath, the Detroit Tigers catcher, was in the TV booth because the American League today upheld his appeal of a 2-game suspension for bumping umpire John Hirschbeck during a July 23rd game against the New York Yankees. Top of the 6th inning, bases loaded and 1 out, and Lloyd Mosby cracks this grand slam home run off of Jeff Robinson. It's his 11th home run of the season, and suddenly Detroit was leading it 4-1 thanks to the grand salami by Lloyd Mosby as he got all of that one, sent it out into right field, and Jeff Robinson is not too happy about giving up that one. In the Yankee dugout, pitcher Pascual Perez trying to help out either the bat boy or a teammate. Well, that's the SNS quiz of the night. If you happen to know who this guy is that Pascual Perez is helping out, give us a call at 201-807-0888 because nobody seems to know who he is. In the bottom of the 6th inning, with the score 4-1, Kevin Moss comes up and will crack his 9th home run in 78 at-bats. It's a solo shot, this one coming off of Walt Terrell. This makes it 4-2 as the Yankees are now down by 2. And Kevin Moss creams that one out into right field. And Walt Terrell, who gave up the home run, gives Kevin Moss a look here on the replay, as he can't believe he hit it that far. Bottom of the 8th inning, Kevin Moss will make it 5-4, as the Yankees are now down by 1 as he cracks this solo home run off of Paul Gibson with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. It's his 2nd home run of the game, his 10th of the season, and that makes it 5-4 as the Yankees are down by 1. They brought in reliever Mike Henneman as Pascual Perez gets a little friendly with Kevin Moss. And the next batter was Steve Balboni, and he hits his 12th home run of the season. It's a pinch hit home run. Ties the score at 5 apiece. So Kevin Moss and Steve Balboni hit back-to-back home runs for the Yankees to tie it up. And this game is in extra innings now on the back-to-back homers by Moss and Balboni. And those home runs would send this game into the extra innings and deep into the night. Fans started getting crazy, like this woman asking Roberto Kelly to marry her. And Roberto sees the sign and thinks about it. Well, in the top of the 14th inning, Alan Mills now pitching for the Yankees. Chet Lemon with the triple into the right center field gap. Scoring on the play is Dave Bergman. That gives Detroit a 6-5 lead as Barfield overthrows the cutoff man. And Chet Lemon slides in with the triple. And watch this group of kids try to get their face on TV as they storm the fence. Watch the kid in the purple and the green as they try to climb up. I guess that's why they call Yankee Stadium the Bronx Zoo. Bottom of the 14th inning, as you take a look at this still shot of a relaxed Yankee dugout, Frank Tanana, who's normally a starter, is on in relief. Oscar Azokar sends this one foul, and watch this great catch by Tony Phillips to end the game as he catches it on the tarp. The Tigers win it 6-5 in 14 innings. The winning pitcher is Clay Parker. He's 2-1. Alan Mills takes the loss. He's 1-4. And Frank Tanana picks up his first save as Tony Phillips makes the great catch to end the game. Thursday night at the Kingdome, some Twins fans on hand to see the Mariners take on Minnesota. And in the top of the 2nd inning, Brian Harper extends his hitting streak to 23 games as Omar Vizquel can't handle it. They rule that one a base hit as Gary Gaetti scores, and it was 1-0 Minnesota after Tracy Jones tied the game in the bottom of the 2nd with an RBI single. The next batter up was Dave Valley facing Mark Guthrie. He gives Seattle the 2-1 lead with his 24th RBI of the season as Edgar Martinez scores on the play.
And a hack away and a foul at John Gordon. Hey, John, you flinched. E announcer.
And that's Twins announcer Ted Robinson with the call on the error by his colleague John Gordon. The bottom of the 3rd inning, Tracy Jones adds his 2nd RBI of the game as he'll single into left field. That'll score Ken Griffey Jr. from second base as he has to come in sliding as he singles into left field. RBI number 22 for Jones as he beats the throw by Shane Mack. It was 3-1 Seattle. And that's Dave Cochran hanging loose in the Mariner bullpen. And that's Billy Swift behind him. Top of the 5th inning now, Alvin Davis up to bat against Mark Guthrie. He sends this one out into left field, but watch this catch by Shane Mack running back on the ball. Makes the catch. That one's worth one more look. Shane Mack, the Twins left fielder, making one of the nicer plays on the day. Bottom of the 7th inning now, Alvin Davis up to bat with a score 4-2 Seattle. He's facing pitcher Jack Savage, and he hits this solo home run to right field. For Davis, it's his 9th of the season. That makes it 5-2 Seattle. They go on to win this one 7-2 as Brian Holman picks up his 3rd straight victory and picks up a career-high 11th win in the process against 7 losses. Here in the top of the 8th, he strikes out Kent Herbeck, and Dave Valley thought it was only the 2nd out in the inning. He fired down to 3rd base, but the Mariners win it 7-2.